Athletes and fans around the world, welcome to another episode of Primetime Muscle. But this continues to be the special ones. Guys, this is Olympia week where the anticipation, the excitement builds. Tara Kilgindi.
Great to be here. Great to see my co-host, Chris Cormier. And great to be here with Lauralie Chapados, one of the great bikini competitors in the history of the bikini category.
Three-time Arnold Bikini International Champion. Many other wins. Odds on favor many times. Is this your year?
Oof, we're starting so strong. Wow. I was like, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me here, doing all this stuff. Is this my year?
Is this your year?
And we shall see. But I'm working really hard for it to be my year. Chris, what? Is the
thought
same
you were
answer all
going to
the
be
time?
like, it's the same one. Every time we ask you, it's the same thing.
You're right.
Give us some meat and potatoes of it.
I agree. It's always the same BS. Okay, so
let's see how you really feel.
I really feel that I'm 5.5 weeks out as of today, but I know we're going to release that a little bit closer. But I'm working really hard. I feel really calm. This is everything according to plan. This is also the same bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I need to warm up a little bit.
All right.
Let's circle back.
Okay.
Massage your shoulders a little bit.
This is my time.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we want to hear.
Period.
The realist.
So this is Nick Walker, New York Pro this year. It's my house. My house. Yep, that's it. So let's get to know you though, because you and I were kind of talking about that just before we started. How you're from Canada? How'd you grow up? How'd you get into this sport? What is your evolution in this whole thing to being where you are?
Oh my God! You want me to go for the next 3 hours?
Start with the name. Start with the name.
My name.
The name. Like
Lauralie
some people
Chapados.
don't pronounce it correctly. Some of the fans, some of the judges don't even say it correctly.
She has a pass. We had a discussion. I know. Miss Cynthia Williamson, you can call me Lauralie because if she calls my name at this Olympia, she says Lauralie, I'm not even moving. This is the agreement that we have. I'll be like, who? No, it needs to be Lauralie.
Lauralie, okay.
I will come forward.
Okay.
No. So my name is French. It's Lauralie. That's how you say it in French, Lauralie. So it's spelled I-E. In English, you guys say Lauralie. You would read it that way. If it was L-E-E, you would read it Lauralie. So you choose. You pick.
Can you say your name in French one more time?
Lauralie Chapados.
I like that better. Monsieur Cormier, Lauralie Chapados.
Christopher Cormier.
Oh my goodness.
Tim
Oui,
Wilkin.
oui.
Cédric Elguindi.
So you grew up in Canada.
Cool
And
Canada.
did you play sport? How'd you evolve in this whole process?
So I started the sport, I was 17 years old. So there's not a lot of lifetime before that, right? It was just high school, kind of going to college. I was playing soccer. My parents, blessed us into putting me and my brother into sports. So during the winter, we were going to skiing and then soccer all year round and then jiu-jitsu for a little bit.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right.
So I turned 17 and then girl starts going out because it's 18 years old, that you turn legal age.
In France?
In Quebec.
In
Canada. So start going out, fake ID, So I'm like, girls are not showing to practice anymore. I need my own outlet. So I went to the gym and paid for a full year, not knowing what a dumbbell was, what a weight room was. I just know that gym was very convenient for me at the time that I was going to school and kind of going through my own schedule. And I was like, this is it. And I signed up for a year. And next thing I know, I met someone that told me that I could look great on stage. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but let's do it. 6 months after, I was on it. I was good at it. And then we're here.
And then pro, and then here, and then how many Olympias is this?
7th. This is number 7th Olympia. So number 7th and the 60th. So little special numbers here.
I have a chance to judge shows with the NPC all over the world. And when somebody's a superstar in the sport, when NPC competitors come up to you and say, Lauralie Chapados is my hero, right? She is the one that, inspires me. And these are people in Japan, these are people in Brazil that have never met Lauralie. I had a chance to watch Lauralie work out, and she's a fierce bodybuilder. And I say this with a lot of conviction. She works out real hard. We went to Florida to shoot for Olympia TV, and she needed to do a certain muscle group. This is not the kind of girl that uses her cell phone to work. She's not really caring about the makeup or whatever. She's a beautiful girl, but when it comes time to work out, she's a fearless bodybuilder. She lifts heavy weights, and she does stuff that most people don't do. That's why she is where most people are not. Genetically speaking, she might be the most genetically gifted bikini competitor we've ever seen, because what we do is we tell bikini competitors, grow your glutes, but don't grow your legs, because if your legs are too big, they overpower your glutes. Here comes this girl in 2018, and she's got incredible glutes and the legs are not thick. So she goes and places second to Angelica Teixeira, and many people believe that, this is the next person to become Olympia bikini champion and to prevail. She's won the Arnold 3 times, but she has not won the Olympia. And even prior to Jennifer Dory announcing that she wasn't going to be at the Olympia, many people speculated that this is Lauralie's year. And listen, I can understand why they speculate that. She looked incredible at the Arnold, possibly her best physique ever. A lot of people think that this is Lauralie's year, and there's a bit of pressure on her to win, because a lot of people say she is the favorite to win. And I don't think she should shy away from that. She is one of the greatest bikini competitors of all times. She's the one that a lot of people expect to win the Olympia. A lot of people have been expecting her to win the Olympia.
You're taking this in.
Oh,
So,
yes.
and we'll see what happens. But we, as judges, we have to say that this competitor, Lauralie Chapados, is truly one of the greatest bikini competitors we've seen. And if she wins the Olympia this year, I think she cements her legacy in a very special place, because she's a superstar worldwide.
I've gotten to know you over the years. I watched you more time than you would know. I don't want that to take the wrong way, but
I'll show you how to follow a restraining order. It's very simple.
I've been watching you. But I watched your physique blossom. I saw you start really. You had some trainers in the past that didn't take it to a certain level, or you got with your other half. You guys kind of start doing a little too much at one point. You kind of got really you were really into it, but then you had to tone it back a little bit. And I see how you train now, methodically, mind muscle connected, but everything's for a reason. Nothing's just because you're in the gym and it's Thursday and you're gonna do something. Everything's methodically put together. I watched you very closely for over the years. And everything is there. Everything's lined up for you to go to the next level. And I know you've been wanting this for a long time. I visit your gym out there in Florida, and you have everything you need. Everything is in order. Everything's in full control for you to do what you need to do at this Olympia. So, I like the way your body's put together. The glutes are there. I don't know. I like the shoulder, the width of your physique. Everything's there. Not too big anywhere. Everything's matching. And I think that's all you need to win this competition.
I got a question for you. What's
I
your
have an
favorite
answer for
part
you.
of the process? Is it the training, the diet, the discipline, the focus? What is it that keeps you fired up, that gets you really moving forward?
I think it's always the post-show and everything that comes after, right? So right after I step on stage, whether I win, whether I lose, I get my feedback, and I go back into my game. And I go back into the gym with my hair up, and I just need to do the work for the next one to be better than the last time I showed up. So that's my favorite thing. That's what kept me going for 10 years.
Which brings me to, you're a foodie, correct? You love to eat.
I love to eat. Yes.
Tell me about the food that you love to eat. Let's talk about the real stuff.
Everything. Whether
Like,
it's,
like
I mean,
what? Like what? Like let's give it to us. What's your favorites?
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind right now is a good bagel with cream cheese, but I would always go for just a little buffet style, like Brazilian barbecue situation where like you pick a little bit of everything with like good meats because good meat and then protein, and you have different type of carbs, little salad, little fruits. Yeah, food is good.
When you take a something that has a bone on it, do you clear that meat off the whole bone? Do you make a carcass out of it, or do you?
I told you this was a real
He's
show.
so hungry. He's so hungry. Are you competing at the Olympia? Are you 5 weeks out, Chris?
I am.
You sound like you're 5 weeks out.
I'm in low carb in it. You don't see the cheekbones?
Oh my God.
Derek, I see you. What do you got for us?
So I have a question for you, and we have another segment. We're gonna bring Amy Delgado afterwards, but you are somebody that understands the bikini category. You've competed against the best ones: Janet, Ashley, Angelica. Amy's coming up the ranks. You have Maureen Blanquisco. Let's suppose this is the year of Lauralie Chapados. She's the last woman standing on stage. You become Olympia Bikini champion. Talk to me about who places second and third.
He's aiming for his name.
The second and third.
Who could it be?
Listen, we have Mr Olympia competing at this show at the Olympia. Isa Bikini will be there, so I think that's not a name to forget. And I'm ready to see it battling out on the second and third, and fourth and fifth. But
So you're saying that Isa Piscini could very well be second or third right there?
I think Ashley. Listen, there's Ashley, like you said, Ashley and Marine.
Angelica.
Ooh, let's do this.
Let's do it.
2018, all again, Angelica and I, side by side. I know Angelica is feeling really good right now. I know she had a change of plan and she's coming up. Like, I would love to see that.
This is great stuff. Great stuff.
Very
Can we get the
selfishly.
camera on me and Lauralie for about 30 seconds? Great stuff. A lot of people speculating that Lauralie Chapados might be your next champion. And she was very honest. She opened up and she said, listen, we have a lot of former Olympians there. We have Ashley, who's won 3. We had Angelica, who won twice. We had Maureen Blanquisco. We had a lot of great champions. She did not mention Amy Delgado, who's coming on the next segment.
He never misses an opportunity.
Listen, I've been the dark horse before, and I listen. I respect.
You beat her by 1 point at the honor.
Yes, but I beat her.
Splitting hairs.
Listen,
The same way that I respect when Jen beat me from 1 point in 2021, I'm never taking that away from her. She has a Miss Olympia. Is she coming? She's done it beautifully. Amy has a brilliant run. She's been consistent. She has a beautiful physique.
Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro champion.
Yeah, and these are serious titles. And she's bringing the heat, and I'm wishing her the best.
As much as we would love to let Tarek put you on the spot for another 25 minutes, Lauralie Chapados, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you guys so much.
We are huge fans of you on the show. And, well, of course, off the show, too. This is a brief part of what we do. We're wishing you the best. Go back and watch our previous episodes. You'll find out. I
watched them.
Are they gonna? Do you guys ever get like a little testy up there? Do you ever like when you guys do like walk into the back? Do you ever like yank somebody's hair or something like that?
No.
Guys,
No.
all right. We've got more Primetime Muscle. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in a couple minutes when we come back.
Please feed him. Please. Feeding him a T-bone.
And the festivities continue on Primetime Muscle Olympia Week. And we are joined by another one of the superstars of the bikini division, Amy Delgado. Hi.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing?
Good. How you doing? Good to see you.
We're better now. We're better now that you're
Good.
here. We have been big fans. We've talked you up, and now it's the big week.
Oh, you said some things.
Nice
Oh, I would
things.
love to hear.
A lot of nice things. So that's what watching the
Cool.
episodes will do for you.
Okay.
Yeah. We've watched you, especially this year, winning New York Pro, Pittsburgh Pro. How exciting was that?
Oh my gosh. I wanted to be 2 times, and now I'm like, I want to be 3 times.
You want to do it
I'm
again?
excited. Yeah, I want to go up there again and do it again.
So, guys, I had a chance to talk with Amy just before we came on, and one of the things I think is really important is for people to really get to know who you are as a person and an athlete. And you have a rich history. Our headquarters are in Phoenix and Gilbert Chandler. You have a rich history and an interesting background.
Yeah. Yes, I am Native American. My tribe is actually here in the backyard of Arizona. I'm a part of Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. Our tribe is pretty much majority of Scottsdale. That's our reservation. But we own Talking Stick, Casino Arizona. If you guys have been, Talking Stick is amazing. But yes, yeah, that's my history and culture here.
Wow.
So it's like I also got my pro card here in Arizona, and I'm just like, I'm excited to be back.
So there's a lot of connection for you here
Oh, yeah.
for a long time. So
Oh yeah.
talk about that journey. So did you play sports? Or you were actually a cheerleader.
Yes. Growing up, I was a competitive cheerleader. I cheered for about, I would say, 12, 13 years, but I am very, very competitive. Let me tell you, I started at the back, and I ended up being point flyer, point jumper. I didn't make it to the front in the dance, but I wanted to make sure I excelled, and I feel like that's what brought me to how I carry myself as an athlete today.
Which is an interesting question. I emceed those events for years at the national championships in Orlando. How did you not end up in fitness?
I don't know. I have no idea. So pretty much my husband, Christian Delgado, he dragged me to the 2019 Mr. Olympia Fit Expo, just the expo. We didn't know what the Olympia was. And at this time I was in a dark place. I was very depressed. I have a history of drinking, and so I just felt like I couldn't do anything that involved, I don't know, not sports, I guess, my physical body, because that's what I did my entire life growing up. And then so whenever I went, I was inspired, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many girls with shoulders and glutes. And I was like this. I was just, tiny little girl. And so from that day, I signed up for the gym. I got a gym membership, and then I realized I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And so I hired a coach. He happened to be a bikini coach, and he looked at me and he was like, your body is perfect for bikini. You should do a show. I said, no, I'm not doing a show. I just want to learn how to work out. Well, little to my knowledge, he was prepping me for the bikini show that whole time. And then he kept talking me into it. And then about 6 weeks out, that's when I said, yes, I'll do it. I did it. I stepped on stage, and it was at the Vegas, you judged me, is at the Legends Classic in Vegas, and I won True Novice, and placed second in Open. And after that, I was like, "This is what I'm doing.
You were like,
This
do this.
is what I'm doing."
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, you have the physique. I mean, you've improved your physique. You've grown the glutes. I mean, the shape of your natural body that you, like you said, that was there. Like, what about that process? Like watching your body develop, watching everything, come to life before your eyes in the mirror. How was that process for you?
Oh, I'm a person that, like, if the judges tell me to do something, I will not sleep. I will work so hard, and I will make it happen, and I won't stop until it happens. And that's when I feel comfortable. So I started with powerlifting because I was 93 pounds on that stage. And I started with powerlifting, and I grew a lot. And, but I continued to train that way because that's what I was used to. That's what got me to grow. But as soon as I continued to train that way, I noticed my waist was getting thicker. So that's when I had to really change my training. But that foundation of training, and that was what brought me to have that foundation of muscle being built. And then from there, it was more fine tuning.
Wow. And go ahead. Go ahead.
Aimee has been one of the fastest rises to the Olympia stage. She turned pro at the USA's. That's when we did it in Arizona. She was wearing blue bikini. And I remember when she came in for the overall, there was a lot of great competitors. The first thing we noticed was how small her waist was.
Yeah.
And she prevailed in that overall. She won the title. And then we watched throughout the years a very fast rise in the IFBB Pro League. She has two great qualities that makes her one of the best in the world. First is her genetics, right? If you're born with this kind of waist, you should do bikini competitions, figure. But the second thing that Aimee has, she has a spirit of a fighter, right? She is a fighter. You're not gonna, knock her down. And if she ever gets knocked down, she's gonna come back and keep fighting. That's a very formidable combination when you have the genetics and you have this fighting spirit, which, she's a survivor from her own life. And now on stage for her, these challenges are very easy for her. She knows how to overcome. She's under the guidance of Jamie DeBernard. And I think she's the perfect coach for her because competitors like Aimee, and we've seen some, the tendency is for them to do too much, right? They are so, crazy about determination. Sometimes they do too much, and then the coach comes in and say, whoa, 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 that's not necessary. Let's pull you back. The key question is, can she beat Lauralie Chapados, Ashley Kowalser? She's already beaten Ashley Kowalser in Pittsburgh and in New York. Can she beat Lauralie Chapados and some of these girls that are placing ahead of her at the Olympia? Based on her genetics, she can. We're going to see in a few hours here if she can do it. But I don't think anybody in the industry, including the judges, will be surprised if Amy Delgado is the last woman standing, based on her genetics and her ability to keep fighting.
So just a quick backstory with him. He remembers so much amazing stuff, but to finally hear Tarek say he remembered the color of a woman's bikini and not a man's trunks, really makes it better. We've had a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was junior nationals. He was wearing red trunks.
This is like 10 years back.
10 years back, he remembers the color of everybody's pants.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad that it's you
male
finally.
pants.
So here's a big question for you, because I know, you go from 2018-19 not knowing how to lift a weight, and then you win a show, you win another one, you get your pro card. You step foot on that Olympia stage the first time when? 22 or 23?
22.
22. First and foremost, what kind of feelings were those? And with this head of steam coming off of Pittsburgh and New York, which are big precursor shows to say, all right, you're a viable candidate for this. What does the Olympia mean to you the first time and this time?
The first time I had, honestly, going into that, because I put a lot of pressure on myself. I want to be the best, and I won't stop until I am one of the best on that stage. And that means winning that title. My first Olympia, I had a lot of anxiety because of all the pressure, a lot of anxiety attacks. But once I talked to Jamie and understood, that I'm coming in my first Olympia with no one's expecting me to just win the Olympia, It's my first one, so just enjoy it. And that's what I did. Just like whenever I earned my pro card, I didn't know what the Olympia was. I didn't know what a pro card honestly was. I just enjoyed it.
Such a blessed place to be.
Yes, I enjoyed it. And if I would have known all of that, I would have had so much pressure on me, just like I did for that first Olympia. But once I took that pressure off, I enjoyed it. And I feel like that's why I placed 6th. And then going into, last year's Olympia, I felt very, very confident because of the trajectory that I left behind as far as the winning, Pittsburgh and New York. But unfortunately, I got sick. I got the flu peak week of Olympia, so that was hard. But now this Olympia, I'm very confident in what I can bring. I know my physique. I feel like I am one of the athletes that has full control over what I'm bringing to every single stage. You guys have seen me on stage. I make sure I bring the conditioning, the fullness, I nail it. And I keep going until I make sure there's no feedback left, and they want that to bring to the Olympia. So I'm really excited for this Olympia. I feel like it's gonna be a big surprise.
Well, Amy, I have bad news for you
Okay.
because the expectations are huge for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, we're talking about you possibly being Olympia Bikini champion,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about you. We're talking about, and anybody can win the Olympia. We're speculating, but based on the results, if you win Pittsburgh, you win New York, you lose by a point the Arnold, people are looking at you and they're saying she should be on that first call out. She should be playing right there in the center with the top girls. And if you're not there, it would be a disappointment. How do you deal with that pressure? Because the expectations by the entire world are that Amy Delgado will be on that first call out fighting for the title.
I love the pressure. I'm excited for people to be rooting for me to get that first call out. I feel like putting the right pressure on yourself and not, like I said, not letting it steer you into the wrong direction, not letting you overtrain or overdo different things. I am very good at controlling my mindset. The pressure, now I'm good at controlling the pressure, but now I channel it to fuel what I do for the stage. I don't do more cardio. I don't let it fire me that way. I let it fire me of I'm going to show up and I'm going to deliver and I'm going to make you all proud.
Now, you have another juggle that a lot of the competitors don't. You're a mom of a 6-year-old.
Yes.
And how does that play into your lifestyle of this as a sport and a business?
Oh, it's hard. It is hard. The biggest thing is sacrifice. I feel like have taken lots of sacrifice away from my daughter, where my husband had to be mom and dad for some times, and that's hard. But the fact that I am here. This is part of the journey. The results are speaking, and it's all worth it. And the fact that all my hard work, all my sacrifices is now coming to light, it's all worth it. And I'm just so grateful that the sacrifices I made are for something big. And she's proud of me. She's so happy. She loves what I do. I feel like it helps me in some ways because I have a daughter. I can't go out and go to events or even go out to parties or dinners. So it keeps me more grounded, keeps me more at home. I feel like it goes hand in hand with my prep. It elevates my prep.
Yeah. So being a parent, like I was a parent, right in the heart of my career coming up, had a little boy, and I was just like, okay, but I'm like the real deal. Like it's like, so that's all he understood is, the sacrifice I did for him. And also, he was a part of it. I kept him backstage with me a lot of times from 2 years old on up to, I got, photos with him, keeping him a part of it like that. I think that means a lot. And also it also gives you a little bit more fire. Fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this for my family,
And I feel like I need to bring that trophy home to her.
And then
if I'm letting him take over some of the responsibility so I can focus and do what I do, bringing that trophy home. Oh, that's the best feeling.
I've seen her, seen her with her daughter right after she won a show, and I could see how proud her daughter was. I saw that in LA, and I saw that at the Legions. So trust me, a lot of times we raise kids, but you are truly a superhero to your daughter. And I think one day she's going to tell the entire high school, this is my mom. You know what I mean?
She's already doing it. She's in kindergarten. And all her friends are like, hey, Aria, why does your mom show her stomach? And she's like, well, my mom's fit and everything. And then another little girl tells her, she goes, it's her best friend, but she goes, your mom has a very nice butt.
Oh, no.
Well,
I'm like, oh, my goodness.
So I was going to say, so you've been through things in your life. Some things, so you felt like very low points of your life, being depressed. I had been depressed a lot of times in my life, and climbing out of that and, going through the preparation for a competition, you feel like you've been through something. You're like, this is nothing. I can do this.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been lower than this.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of that.
So, like I mentioned earlier, how I use my pressure for good. So this is why I feel like I'm so good at what I do here, is because I grew up very hard. My dad was addicted, and lots of my family members went to jail and prison and stayed there for a long time. My mom had to adopt all my cousins, and we ended up with a family of 8. So life was very, very hard growing up. And I felt like I was on the path of going straight to where all my family members are at.
Yeah, you made a choice.
Yes. And then, but I found a new way to suffer, a healthy way to suffer, to starve, to put that energy into my cardio, to show up for myself every day.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have this, it would not, I don't know where I would be.
Well, I got to say, before we wrap, you know, we talk about your daughter seeing the trophies and seeing the medals. She sees the previous 6 months more than that. She sees your dedication. She sees your tenacity. She sees your focus and your discipline. And those are the things you're really passing along. The things, the intrinsic and the values that that you can't read and you can't learn from someone else except your parents. And you say, that is something I can do. It'll be a part of who she is. Everything you've done will be a part of who she is. So you should be very proud of that.
Thank you.
Well, here's the deal, okay? You're sponsored by Global Formulas.
Heck yes.
I've been texting my friend Jacob Frank since I got to Vegas. He hasn't replied to me. If we go
He's
to
busy. He's a very busy guy.
if we go to your house right now and we need to stock up on Pro Zero,
I
do
got
you have
you.
vanilla, chocolate, peanut butter, and chocolate?
Chocolate peanut butter.
Chocolate peanut
Is
butter.
that what you have?
That's what I have.
All right.
Mhm.
So that's where we're going to get some Pro Zero from Global Formulas. Jacob, that's fine. Don't reply. I'll get my protein from your
Hey,
athletes.
Tarek, just come by the house. I've been staying there the last 3 days training at his private gym.
Oh, okay.
So he's got a ton of that at the house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can't get in. There's a code. Folks, Amy, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck at the Olympia.
you for having me.
So excited for you to be up there and continue to make that rise to the top until you don't get any more feedback.
Yep.
All right. Tim Wilkins, the one and only real deal Chris Cormier.
That's what's happening.
We do this sometimes, don't we?
We do that.
Tarek Gilgindi, you'll be judging all weekend.
Very excited. You know, good luck, Amy. We'll see what happens.
Like, subscribe, share, comment, and as always, as we head into this Olympia, don't miss a minute of the action from the Olympia Amateur to the finals of the Open. Go to olympiaproductions.com and get your pay-per-view. I'm Tim Wilkins. We thank you for joining us on Primetime Muscle.